for the sake of those that are, those that were, and those to come. hlylom vdhlvb Szorg Vzer hlylom vdhlvb Szorg Vzer hlylom vdhlvb Szorg Vzer May the history of these beings, of this place, be towards our means. Massengill, flower pots, very common. Massengill at sea. Elizabeth H., August 19th, 1964. Robert Lee, April 30th, 1964. As long as life and memory last, we shall remember you. We certainly hope to remember our own dear ones as long as we have memory. RLM, EHM, Sergeant Robert L. Massengill, killed in action during World War II. Clarence Wilton Massengill, World War II, 1968. That's supposed to be Shriner, right? Alton R. Massengill, November 13th, 1992. And Helen Cannon Lessie, May 12th, 2000. Floyd Robert Lessie, February 20th, 1989. Floyd R. Leslie, February 20th, 1989. Okay. Same one, right? Hoyt Thomas Cannon, December 9th, 1995. Betty C. Lindsay, February 9th, 2018. I think that's the CSC. Carol Sue Leslie Garnes, December 19th, 1982. His Way Mine. That was, as the years go on, the biblical examples probably less of a literal statement when people say that, but perhaps they thought that. Canon, B. Ralph, February 26, 1971, January 1st, 1990. Our Father, which art in heaven. Well, don't think we have any fathers up there, but although that could be something you say once people die. I know the Christian meaning of this. This is I can't quite make out what's on this gravestone. And December 17th, 1943, James Bennett Cannon. I understand why people want to be buried by their relatives. Oh, there's some stand cell. I think the importance is to be buried where you lay. Generally, people live and die in the area, or at least they used to. So, Joe David, son of Mr. and Mrs. Sam Stansell, September 22nd, 1945. So a child death, gone but not forgotten. Yeah, that's sad. People don't forget their children that died. March 4th, 1946. asleep in Jesus? Well, no, but that's certainly what people believe. Liana Wyatt Nimmons. I mean, you read the Bible, they never have Jesus claim that in the Bible, that he's a literal God or anything like that, or that he's omnipresent or omniscient or omnipotent. In fact, there's a lot of verses that point against that. Samuel A., April 5th, 1985. O.E. Wyatt, August 25th, 1987. And we have Ruth Crow, January 10th, 1996. Rest in peace. Is according to one's actual deeds and consciousness, so we'll leave that up to others. We'll leave that up to, the eternal to judge, right? Loving husband and father and papa, Tyrone Austin Thompson, April 23rd, 2005. The seas are now calm, Dad. So, the people older than my father are generally dead. Evelyn Thompson Bagwell, February 3rd, 1999. John Austin Jr., November 4th, 1943. I only want a gravestone yay big with my name on it. Nothing big or fancy. It could be that there's some of these spots could have forgotten. That's why there's the big empty, or they could be waiting, saying, well, this is the family plot and here's more space. So as time goes on, there's certainly going to be more burials out here, as we have seen. LPT, JAT, John Austin, December 14th, 1974, November 1st, Lella Pace, 1994. Okay, I'm doing ropers. But let's see what this one is. I got to be careful because apparently there was a Julius B. Albertson, January 28th, 1958. Goosey I. May 1st, 1973. Yet in this heart's most sacred place, thou alone shall dwell forever. Well, a lot of graveyards, they pile the bodies on top of each other. They look and, the body's dry, or if there's more room as the years go by, they just put more in, and that's perfectly fine. People think that's crowded and uncomfortable. It's like, you're dead. October 20th, 1986, J.B. Albertson. And we have, so there's a mother and a father. Elpar Roper, March 7th, 1944. Well, that doesn't seem to be too aged, although it's dark out here half the time, so it could be. When's that? Yeah, it could be the child of. There's still people that old around. Oscar F. Roper, March 24th, 1947. Bowen. Benjamin H., 1976. Ethel B., 1994. They were married July 13th, 1913. Our Father which art in heaven. Abrasax. Remember how I talked about Abrasax and how father is a metaphor? Mother, father. CBD, FFD. So, Furman F. Davis, September 29th, 1981. Carnice B., August 18th, 2007. And Etta Bowen Hewley, June 1st, 1957. So what does that father metaphor mean, other than possibly meaning a projection of father issues. What do you think that means? Sleep on, dear mother, and take part. Oh, and take thy rest. God called thee home. He knew thee best. Well, certainly the true God knows everybody best, even better than themselves. We can program ourselves to think we have different memories. We can go to a shrink that wants to, has an agenda, CRT, and based on that, which a lot of the ritual abuse things, I've done a ritual abuse tarot, I'm not comment, and I'm not making fun of the whole, you know, it's a very serious thing these psychologists did to people, and people's parents did to people despite the other parent. Claudie R., July 14th, 1976. Tinsley, okay, Leonal H. Tinsley, May 5th, 1994. And whether that's intended as a decoration or a reminder to pray or an amulet or a talisman of some sort, it varies per person. Seaman, second class. Grady Jerome Tinsley, son of Mr. and Mrs. C.R. Tinsley, a young adult. Okay, in Normandy, France, he gave his life for his country. Nowadays, a lot of mercenaries, but people, definitely World War II was a cause that had honorable mentions to it. December 30th, 1944, Belton R. Loftus, D.A.L. Dean Alvin Loftus, July 14th, 1934, gone to be with Jesus. Well, whichever messiahs and prophets, certainly there's not just a... Is there anything written on these blocks, or are they just marking where they are? You know, they can't be testifying on those who did on behalf of those who didn't actually follow their thing. Monty Lee Loftus, March 7th, 1979. I will never leave thee or forsake thee. Loftus Harris Evan, September 15th, 1961. Buella Owens, July 12th, 1930. So let's beware of that it's not proclaiming, you know, Matthew 7:21. You say, Lord, Lord, and Jesus is going to be like, yeah, those people aren't on my side. It's those who did the will of, you know, the one who sent me. And it's the same language used with the rest of the prophetic figures. Charlie C. Durham, May 8th, 1889, October 30th, 1967. Robert F. Okay, Bobby Durham, April 30th, 1980. Durham, or do we have... Is this just a central plaque, or is there possibly older bits over there that we forgot? Possible. Nettie D. Wilson, October 21st, 1973. Henry A. Durham, April 13th, 1937. And see, that is an indication I should step over that spot. Carrie D. Chapman, Morgan, November 20th, 1978. Richard T. Chapman, April 10th, 1929. Hi. Charlie and Robert. Yeah, I did those. Well, I mentioned those. And W. A. C. And I can't tell, but we'll see here. Margaret's W.A. Connolly, November 22nd, 1927. His wife, Margaret Smith Connolly, so MSC would have been on that. April 20th, 1941. Dillard A. Connolly, July 24th, 1962. Laughlin Carl B., April 21st, 2009. And Doris C., July 15th, 1933. Married February 6th, 1955. And I personally would not have a wife renamed because I married her. She should keep her father's name if it's an appropriate name for a person to have. Belly Pearson, wife of L.J. Connolly, October 5th, 1941. L. Jerome Connolly, December 15th, 1943. And, okay, let's ADB, NLB, Bridges, A. Dewey, died 1986. Nora Lee, 1988, In God's Care. Oh, I'm okay with having the date that I died, or my birth date or something on the stone. That's fine. J.H. Baker, January 11th, 1929. His wife, Nanny V. Baker, December 6th, 1949. And At Rest. I don't believe death is it, so it's not rest. It's just a translation of sorts, and that's a space where we don't step. 1935, December 12th. Bayless Clayton Jr. and Bayless Clayton, 1951, January 24th. And Essie Stanzel, October 6th, 1970. Yeah, 6. Robertson. Is this a stone here? Yeah, there's a stone. Multiple stones. Robertson, who's this? Chris, not as usual of a spelling. Ooh, gotta watch out here. We have Patricia Jean Sprouse, February 24th, 1985. Herman Lee Sprouse Sr., April 25th, 1937. It's possible. There could be people who bring flowers out here regardless, fake ones in particular, which last a lot longer, so figure out exactly when is not as easy. Sprouse, Langdon Lee, June 17th, 1967. Lucy Ma, June 17th, 1967. And don't believe the flowers does anything positive for people when they die, but it's certainly a ritual for the living. Cynthia Jean Sprouse, April 22nd, 1944. Our darling one from us hath gone to be with Jesus in his blessed home. Again, where in the Bible does it have Jesus say that? Grace in Lisdall of Mr. and Mrs. J.O. Forrest, August 10th, 1931. Little bud of love to bloom with God above. Now, I do believe that those who die as pre-adolescents are innocent. J.O.F. Joseph Otte Forrest, May 16th, 1947. He is dead, but has gone to the mansions of rest. While certainly our deeds pile up for good or bad quite a bit on one side or the other. Martha Masters, April 13th, 1973. She has gone to rest. MMF, Matty Lee Forest, July 19th, 1990. And sometimes family plots are started and make their way elsewhere. We have Asleep, Martha Ann, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Clark W. Harris, December 1st, January 26, 1936. It's another innocent child. And James Felton Wood, January 4th, 1985. J. Wood, I am not familiar with that logo. It could just be a design, but it might represent some sort of alliance of some sort. December 17th, 1965. Henry Sterling Wood, March 10th, 1961. And James Allen Wood, December 4th, 1944. Martha E. Wood, June 9th, 1938. And I certainly don't believe in annihilation. No matter what, we become, we remain ourself. Hattie Wood, Knox, July 15th, 1986. Miles Calvin Wood, October 8th, 2000. Now, we don't know, but most of that the Knox in particular, I guess, is one that's, you're mostly dealing with people who would be identified as black in this country. But there's plenty of aberration to that. So we don't know. John H. Pitts. John H. Pitts, okay, HCP. And what does this say? James H. Pitts, April 1st, 1944. His wife, Beatrice H. Carnes, 1922. Oh, is she in 1922? She buried somewhere else, or she's still alive? Our loved one? That's possible. Either way. But she would have to be... Yeah. Less than 100. I'm sure that could be around. She could be around. Ruth Joins Pitts, January 27th, 2005. Roy Baston Pitts, December 26, 2009. Betty L. Sanders, October 26, 2013, SVP. George Earl Pitts, Sr., January 1st, 1964. Pitts, Gone But Not Forgotten, January 22nd, 1964. Sally B., March 19th, 1991. Okay, Barbara Pitts, Riddle, February 29th, 2000. James Edward Hughes, Jr., May 19th, 1996. And William Douglas Hughes, February 4th, 1997. Okay, James Edward Hughes, October 1st, 1945. Darkus Alexander Hughes, September 17th, 1973. Thomas Allen Hughes, March 16th, 1978. Franklin E. Alexander. Okay, cool. World War. Is that just one? Oh, World War I bet. Come on. 19 1965 was this? 4th December. Okay. James Edward. Okay, we got that one. And Henderson, Charlton Willis, September 21st, 1975. Gerald Hopkins, April 7th, 1993. I really need to bring a brush out here. Okay, Charleston W. Henderson, September 21st, 1975. Greta Lorraine Hopkins, January 28th, 1970. And Rosalie Valentin, September 1959, June 6th. And James Warren, October 27th, 1947. Yeah, that's not good on my hands. So we have initial C, BLP. Fannie Lewis Phillips, August 3rd, 1956. MAP. Michael Arling Phillips, December 21st, 1960. And let's see these. ELP, ALP, plain old P. Book of Life, Emma Lewis, June 13th, 1969. Memory Lane. Okay. August 4th, 1970, Lewis Arling. Well, Book of Life, Book of Death. The gone are obviously in the Book of Death. But the spiritually dead are already dead in this life. But WMH, CDH, WWH, and let's start over here. William Woodrow Hopkins Jr., November 24th, 1996. Woody. He was, does that represent wood carving of some sort, or factory work or something? Either way, better. Okay, what is this? Hopkins, William Woodrow, September 8th, 1915. Clara Griffin, March 13th, 1985. And okay. Albert Jean McClure, January 15th, 1924. Joe Smokey McClure, March 4th, 1901. If I'm not pronouncing the names right, it's no sign of disrespect or anything. Albert Eugene McClure, December 13th, 1995. Clovey M. McClure, November 30th, 1987. Bonnie McClure, November 24th, 1945. And let's close these first two rows with hlylom mop vdhlvb Szorg Vzer hlylom mop vdhlvb Szorg Vzer hlylom mop vdhlvb Szorg Vzer hlylom mop
vdhlvb Szorg Vzer. What is true and what is good of the legacy of these individuals, may it continue to pass on, or may it be discovered. And what is wrong, and of no use, let it remain forgotten. hlylom vdhlvb Szorg Vzer hlylom vdhlvb Szorg Vzer hlylom vdhlvb Szorg Vzer. Right? Straight ahead, something interesting, and right in the middle of that shadow, kind of like over there a bit,